Bad news. In a brand new interview with Seconds Out, Ryan Garcia says that Devin Haney, he's open to a rematch, but things need to play out how he needs them to play out, including, but not limited to, Devin Haney dropping the lawsuit that he has against Ryan and, of course, Golden Boy. I will put the link in the description. I want you guys to hear it from the horse's mouth. This is exactly what Ryan Garcia said at the Ring Awards in the UK. Both Ryan and Devin were in town in the UK for that event. Roll the clip.
He's going to get any respect is to fight me again and try to do better. So I could see why he would say that. But for me, I don't know. I mean, that interests me for sure. Like, I would be down to do a rematch, but a lot of things need to play out the way I need them to play out. So that can happen. I mean, first and foremost, he needs to drop the lawsuit, even if he wants to have a conversation about it. To me, I thought that was a weak move by him, and now he wants to backtrack and say that's how he's going to get it back. But before, he was saying different.
So he says he wants the rematch now, but he's backtracking because initially he told ESPN that he don't know if he'll ever rematch Ryan, which I brought up on my channel. And he says for a conversation to even exist, discussions, negotiations, they're going to have to drop the lawsuit.
But I'm ready to fight him. I mean, I've already fought him and beat him. So
he's put his own stipulations on it, saying, he's going to demand, 24-hour drug testing all the way leading up.
I'll put my predicaments on it. We won't be using VADA. I'll be using the people I want to use because for some reason Bill Haney keeps on saying VADA. It's kind of strange to me. Why can't I use USADA or any other organization? It seems a little fishy to me that they love VADA and VADA loves them. I mean, it's just weird. I mean, if nobody's asking those questions, I wonder why.
As predicted. So when I start saying I'm the best in the business and it's not even close, you guys really should listen. Notice what I say comes to light. And I say it before it actually happens. I've seen this coming a mile away. Before I go on, in addition, as I predicted also, and if you remember me saying this, just type I remember in the comment section. Devin Haney says the only way he entertains a rematch with Ryan is if Ryan signs up for 24/7 year-round testing.
I was cheated. I want to be on an even playing field. I want a fair fight. There's a lot of unfinished business there for me and for him. So no fight is supersedes that. But I still want to make all these fights happen, no matter the order. Yeah.
What do you have to do to be able to trust Ryan to climb back in the ropes, between the ropes, and have a fair fight?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that he would have to sign up for 24/7, 365, drug testing, just to make sure that he's not cycling or doing the things that he was doing before.
And lastly, I mean, it's difficult.
Boom. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I told you guys was going to happen. So Turki Al-Sheikh, he made a list of his top 5 fights that he hopes and wants to make in 2025. And I predicted it, and now you see everything I predicted in real time. They're going to have problems with what I just let you listen to. Ryan is saying, in order to have a conversation with me, you have to drop the lawsuit because I thought that was a weak move and it's baseless. So if you ever want a rematch, that got to go away. Like, why am I going to do business with someone who's suing me? And you can say that's valid. Then on Ryan's side, he's saying, why does Bill Haney and the Haneys keep saying VADA? And he's basically inferring that it's tethered to Victor Conti, who's worked with the Haneys. So he's saying, I don't really trust VADA. I'm not using VADA. Why does it have to be VADA? Why are they so insistent on VADA testing? So I'm not using VADA. It has to be an organization to my liking, which we'll get into in a second, right? USADA, WADA, or whoever, but he don't like how the Haneys particularly are pushing VADA, which he believes is tethered to Victor Conte. So he's like, this just seems weird. And you could tell in the interview that he felt he didn't want to go too much in depth because he's being sued. And he said, I got a pending lawsuit against him, so I'll just keep it brief and not make more accusations because, again, you're getting sued. So people could, defamation now, blah, blah, blah. So for Devin Haney's angle, he's like, I've been cheated and Ryan could be cycling, yada, yada, yada. So Ryan's going to have to sign up for 24/7, 365 VADA testing. Herein lies the problem. Remember, if you remember, just type I remember in the comments. Remember when Boxing Ego told you that it didn't really make sense for the guy who's never failed a drug test, Devin Haney, to sign up for year-round testing as if it proved something when you weren't the guy who tested positive. So I was like, the way the Haneys move, there's usually an ulterior motive. So I figured it out, and then now you see it. To me, that ulterior motive was, we're going to sign up for this. We never failed a drug test, and we wanted to look suspicious for Ryan Garcia. If he doesn't agree to this year-round testing, then we have a get-out-of-jail card to not do the rematch. Like, see, I told you Ryan's dirty. He don't want to sign up for year-round testing. But that's not necessarily true because testing is expensive and it's inconvenient when you're doing it year-round. So the problem, as I see it, is Ryan was the A side, and no matter what you say about him or if you like him, he's still the A side. So he's saying, no discussion. I might have a TO fight on deck. I'll rematch Ryan, but things got to go my way, which is what he said in the first fight. That's why he got the lion's share of the money. He made more money. And when he missed weight, Devin and Bill were so hasty to just make an amendment, and they still thought they could beat Ryan. And they had to kind of just deal with the fact that Ryan came in overweight or risk the fight getting canceled. Ryan, he's already made multi millions in the Tank fight, so it wouldn't have hurt him. It hurt his profile and his brand a bit, but it hurts Devin more because that was probably his biggest fight on, financially, or so they thought, right? So the problem, as I see it, is that Ryan calls the shots. He's the A side, and Devin's trying to put on stipulations, and Ryan's just like, I'm a bigger star. I'm a bigger name. He's saying he didn't cheat, and I'm not conforming to what you want me to conform to. I don't trust VADA, so we're not using that. So Turkey is going to have to use his influence and his money and his muscle to hash this out to get these sides on the same page. And I think that's going to be pretty difficult because Devin, again, he's like, I'm cheated. I want him on year-round testing. Ryan doesn't even want to use the same testing company. So who knows? I will say that they both need the rematch, but to be honest, Devin needs it more because of he was the favorite and how it played out hurt his stock more. Ryan's stock got hurt from having a failed test, but not because he got slaughtered or like battered or knocked around. Devin got knocked around as the favorite and dropped a gang of times. So although they both need to fight, to me, I think this will haunt Devin's career a bit more than Ryan because Ryan still has options. He's talking about fighting T.O. That would be a big fight people would pay for. He had the Onpo fight, and that was something like, so obviously this company wanted to cash him out to fight Onpo in an exhibition, things like that. So it is what it is. Ryan's the A side. He has more options, and it's going to hurt Devin more because he's the one that the public's perception changed for mostly in that fight, in the aftermath of the fight versus Ryan. Ryan, you know, you could say, oh, the Osterine failed test, that's a stain on his resume. But from the in-ring fight, Devin is the one people have to see. Can you take a punch still? Can you beat him? Can you deal with his power and speed? Things like that. So a lot that they got to hash out. Your boy Ego predicted everything here, and I knew this was coming. And it's going to be interesting to see if they can make this fight, because Devin's over here and Ryan's over here. They seem very far apart with their ideologies of what's going to happen. And then from what I've seen from the Haneys, Devin and Bill, they have the personality where it's like they almost feel like they're calling the shots, even though they're the B side. You know what I mean? And that's always going to be difficult when you don't have leverage, but you think you have the leverage, because truly Golden Boy and Ryan hold the cards. And he's saying, you can't even talk to me unless you drop this lawsuit against me and the company that I'm signed to, Golden Boy. So it'll be interesting. Like, what is Devin going to do? Say no? Like, so basically, if the lawsuit gets dropped, not dismissed, but if it gets dropped, Ryan kind of punked him. He kind of punked him. So we're going to see what plays out. But if Ryan is firm on this and like, I'm not talking to these people on a rematch, you'll never rematch. Because again, if you listen to the interview, Ryan knows that he kind of has the upper hand. Ryan Garcia is like, he said, I'll enjoy a Teofimo fight as much as a Devin Haney rematch. Ryan knows that he didn't get battered and he has options. So if the Devin Haney, he didn't get slaughtered, so it doesn't hurt his stock in the same way as Devin's stock. Like, kind of hard to explain. Like, they both took a hit for different reasons. Devin took a hit because of how he performed. Ryan took a hit because of Osterine, and now the perception, he has that black cloud with the failed banned substance test. But if we're talking a rematch, of course it has to be clean, but Ryan's saying he doesn't want the organization that the Haneys want. So to me, you guys, I know people are going to argue like, oh no, Devin, he got cheated, so he's the A side, but you guys don't understand the business of boxing. So this is how slow boxing fans are. Some Haneyacks, they'll be like, oh, Devin, he has the upper hand because he got cheated. So when Canelo tested positive for clenbuterol and then the fight got canceled and postponed with Golovkin, did Golovkin make more money than Canelo when Canelo served his 6-month sentence and suspension? And all of a sudden, did Triple G become the A side? Because I was at that fight and I distinctly remember it said Canelo Golovkin. They didn't flip it and say Golovkin Canelo. Canelo failed a drug test. So you don't understand the business. The drug test is shame on you, but unfortunately in the sport we're in, the fans' support is kind of like a popularity contest, which is dictating who's the A side. Butts and seats, ticket sales, you know, milestones in the ring, and you know, what you accomplished, resume, stuff like that. So again, Golovkin didn't fail a drug test, but when Canelo failed a drug test, Golovkin didn't surpass him in terms of the more popular fighter or magically become the A side and made more money. Boxing clearly doesn't work like that. So why would you expect it works like that for Devin? People in Devin's comment section are posting gifs of Ryan dropping him, posting gifs of him getting knocked down, you know, harassing him, whatever you want to say. That same thing is not happening to the same degree when Ryan Garcia posts. So for me, I think this will haunt Devin Haney a bit more than Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, for whatever reason, the way the public has responded to this is very apparent, and they're speaking loud and clear. A lot of the casuals don't care. The hardcore fans are like, hey, this is cheating. Let's protect the integrity of the sport, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of these, the fight transcended just boxing, and a lot of the more casual fans don't really seem to care. Like, they still watch Ryan Onpo press conference. If Ryan fights Tio, they're still going to watch it. I don't see a bunch of people with picket signs boycotting Ryan Garcia. And you at home, even the Haneyaks, you know you're going to watch Ryan's next fight, especially if it's a big fight like Teofimo Lopez. So stop playing. So they got a lot that they're going to have to work on, because this man said you got to drop the lawsuit or no rematch. Let me know what you guys think.